what you want for me, for me. So take my heart, take my heart.
Praise God, praise God. Precious folks, this is yours truly, the quintessential servant, the Holiness Revivalist. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to this stupendous, very mercurial, broadcast, which we have dubbed Singles and Married Night. At this juncture, I'd like us to, share a word of prayer before we go into the business of the evening. So I'd like you to pray with me very shortly. Father, in the name of Jesus, tonight we want to thank you for this privilege to come before your throne of grace, to interact, to help somebody to make prudent decisions in the area of marriage and in the area of relationships. We ask for the spirit of erudition, we ask for the spirit of comprehension, and more importantly, understanding, that people will not make unpardonable blunders in their quest to finding a life partner, and also to ensuring their marriages last longer. We pray for everyone that is watching. Let them be blessed by this broadcast in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Well, precious folks, once again, I welcome you to tonight's very fantabulous broadcast. I trust God that every one of you watching this live streaming is doing very, very well. We are so grateful to have you come online to participate in this very interactive, discourse. At this juncture, I want you to take your phone, take your iPad, wherever you are streaming from, just share the link. If you want to create a watch party, go ahead and create a watch party. Tonight promises to be very, very sweet. So just, like I always say, don't be egocentric, don't be selfish. Just share the link with people so that we can have a very fruitful time, in God's presence. So very quickly, just take your phone, take your iPad. If it means calling somebody, to come online to enjoy this session, just call somebody, tag somebody, post the link on your WhatsApp, respective WhatsApp platforms. Let somebody be blessed by this very, very intriguing discourse. So please keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing. Don't just come online for yourself. Keep sharing. You can see I'm also sharing. I want everybody to be blessed by this discussion. So please share with us. Invite people. I'm giving you 5 minutes to, come online, tell people we are live, and it's going to be very, very powerful. I have a surprise for you. Very soon you will discover my surprise. But I want you to share. Tonight I'm going to be introducing to us a very phenomenal woman of God. But keep sharing. Don't be in haste. Take your time. You'll soon discover, the person joining me for tonight. So keep sharing. I want you to share. Those of you who cry over data, stop crying. You buy papaya, you buy fast food, you don't complain. But when you have to share your data on such, erudite sessions, you are crying over data. So please, there's no need to cry. You are going to be blessed mightily after this broadcast. So share. In case your data is not enough, find a way of buying more data so that you don't miss any aspect of this session. I promise you, you are going to be blessed very, very stupendously tonight. So keep sharing. I see a lot of folks coming on. I see Pastor Steve. I see Claire from London. Well, I see Pastor William. I see Ofosua. I see Daniel. Emmanuel Graham all the way. Pastor Graham from Canada. Come on, keep sharing. Don't forget, tonight is on singles and married folks. So I'd like you to come online and get ready with your questions. Don't forget, we are not preaching to you. It's an interactive session. So, and like I always tell you, when you come online and you join the discourse, please, the questions you ask, let it be predicated on the subject of discussion. Let's not jump the gun. If you ask any question and we feel it's related to the subject, we'll trust God for divine prudence to answer you. But let's try and limit the questions to the subject of discussion. Please, let's do that. And tonight we are looking at factors to consider, when you are choosing a life partner. And those of you who are also married, we are looking at, how to make your marriage sweet and how to make your marriage last longer. Yes, so these are the areas we are looking at. But if you have any question, you can ask after we are done with the brief, interactive session, so that you can also ask. We are going to take a lot of questions, but ask relevant questions. Don't ask questions. So, Daddy, Mommy, how do I have to brush my teeth before I go and kiss my husband or my wife? Those kind of questions, my dear. You are old. You should know some of these things. Ask relevant, very pertinent questions. All right. Okay. So this is House of Consecration Ministry. You can find this church in Accra, Ghana, Adenta, Fafraha, off the Dodowa Road. House of Consecration is in Adenta, Fafraha, Mile 13 Junction, specifically off the Dodowa Road. And like I said, I'm the senior pastor of House of Consecration Ministry. And tonight, we are in for a blast. We are in for a mercurial experience. Well, tonight we are privileged to have a very powerful woman of God. The last time she visited us, we were not on lockdown. As a church, she was here. She was such a blessing. Everybody has missed this woman of God so much. And when I told a few people, the notice to even bring her was very short, but because of the relationship we have, she said, man of God, you are covenant brother, so certainly I'm going to come around so that we can be a blessing to the people that are going to come online. So this is a very, very powerful woman of God. So at this juncture, I'd like to introduce to her to us the wife of my bosom friend. And Reverend Asante, thank you so much tonight for releasing your beautiful wife, to join us, to have this intriguing discussion. But before I introduce the woman of God, let me send a shout out to my wife, my baby. Yes, my honey bomb is watching. Babes, I love you. Those of you who don't understand why I'm doing this, it's not your problem. When you also have one, you know how to appreciate your own. So at this juncture, I'd like to introduce to us no other but Reverend Mrs. Asante. She's here. She will introduce herself, then we set the ball rolling. Woman of God, you are welcome tonight.
Thank you very much, Osofo. It's a great joy to be with you. My name is Theresa Wiafe-Asante. Everybody who knows me too well calls me Mama T. It's all right to call me Mama T. And it's a great joy, like I said, to be here with you. I love House of Consecration, and I am grateful that you called me. Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you so much. So that's Mama T. So this is Holiness Revivalist against Mama T. Thank you so much, woman of God. We sincerely appreciate your coming to join us. And listen, guys, don't pretend. Don't type questions and say, I have a friend, I have a brother. If it's you, my dear, type it. This is the problem I have. This is the challenge I have. All those who be hiding, behind ghosts, saying, my friend suffered this, my brother saw, it's you. I'm telling you, so you better type it. Let us know it's you. And please feel free, ask your questions, and I promise you, we are going to have a wonderful time in God's presence.
Amen.
All right. So, woman of God, let's start with the singles.
Okay.
For those who are bachelors, those who are spinsters, those who are not yet married, and what are some of the things you feel they should consider, factors they should consider when they are choosing a life partner?
Thank you, Osofo. It's a joy to be here. I love the young people. There are quite a number of things to look out for in the choosing of a partner. I so believe that there are quite a number of things we have no control over.
Okay.
You came here on earth and you came to find your parents. So
That's right.
You had no right to choose your parents. You have no right to choose your siblings. As a matter of fact, you have no right to choose the kind of family you happen to be born into. But apart from that, there are quite a number of things we have a choice over. And one of such happens to be marriage. Marriage is one thing that we have so much a choice over as to who to choose to become our partner. Wow. However, before you even make the choice, I want to quickly tell every single person out there, if you are not married yet and you are looking at getting married someday very soon or someday in the next few years to come, this time that you are not married yet, enjoy your singlehood. It is important to enjoy your singlehood. If you are not married yet, don't worry at all. Enjoy your singlehood. Very soon, sooner than you know, you will get married to somebody. You may not completely lose all of yourself, but certainly there will be a little work around you which will not allow you to behave like a single person.
That's right.
So now enjoy your singlehood. In enjoying your singlehood, learn to love you. It is so important to learn to love self. A lot of Christian folks think that if you say you love yourself, then you are becoming too proud. No, it is important to love yourself. Again, after you have learned to love yourself, learn to live life. Don't keep waiting to live life after you are married. A lot of young people say that I will begin to be me when I get married. Please be you now before you get married. Again, I keep asking young people, are you a happy person if you are not married? Quite a number of them say, I'm not very happy. Oh, if you are not very happy now that you are not married, I assure you, you are not going to be happy when you get married. You know, it is what you have that you present, you bring into the union. So, right. Yes, but after all these, there are quite a number of things, a huge catalog of what to look for in a partner. And because we are Christians, we will not go behind the Word of God. The Word of God happens to be our chief director. It is the roadmap with which we walk. And so the Bible has explicitly said that do not be equally yoked together with an unbeliever. Certainly, we would never admonish any child of God to be married to somebody who is an unbeliever. And for an unbeliever, I am talking about people who are not of the same faith. I am praying that every one of us will be married to people who are of the same faith. Of the same faith means that we are all children of God. Somebody is not a Christian and the other person is not a Muslim. It is a huge unequalness.
So what you're simply saying is one of the factors one must consider is to marry somebody from the same faith. F-A-I T-H,
of the same faith.
Of the same faith.
Yes.
It's very crucial.
Very crucial.
Guys, I hope you are listening. When you are marrying somebody, you need to marry somebody of the same faith. If you're a Christian, you must find a Christian and marry. You can't be a Christian and go and marry an unbeliever.
That's one day.
I like that.
You have shot yourself in the foot big time. So marry a Christian. And more so, if I am not saying that you can't marry a Christian of another denomination. You can. But I always wish that we marry from amongst ourselves. So it's so that we are of the same family. We are of the same father. However,
so if you are in house of consecration,
I wish
you advise that if a brother is a bachelor in house of consecration and he's ready to
don't
marry,
leave the sisters.
You should marry a sister in the church. Oh, man of God, you live long. So they shouldn't be looking beyond the church.
No.
As much as you don't have a problem, it's not a sin, it's not an obstruction in any way for them to look beyond the walls of their denomination. But if they can find, those of you looking outside.
There are quite a number of beautiful sisters here.
And I have a lot of them.
I know.
They are watching.
Last time I came, I saw precious ladies all over the place, especially the choiristers. Beautiful sisters. Then you are here, you are there, all over. Then you have been gone all the way to bring somebody, and it's some way, kakra or something. So I just pray that you find sisters from amongst us. However, it is no problem also stepping out of the walls of or
because woman of God, I have lost quite a number of sons, no, not sons, daughters. Because for the men, when they marry, they bring the lady. That one is sweet.
Beautiful.
In a way, it proliferates the church.
I know.
You know, but I have lost a lot of my daughters to some men that, you know, and I like the fact that you said the guys in house, they must find a way. Just enable to because window now we hear the window.
Right.
I'm very happy about it because it's not just about marrying from the same faith. You must also consider your denomination.
Yes, very important.
That's why a church like Lighthouse, they are very particular about it. They insist you marry Church of Pentecost. That's
It's
powerful.
beautiful. You are a father.
Yeah.
You have trained us and you are grooming us. So coming from the same place, listening to the same pastor, listening to the same father, eating from the same plate, we grow much better.
That's right.
It also doesn't say that if you are coming from outside something else, but we are
we
still
understand.
laying emphasis
That's
on
right.
learning to marry from amongst ourselves.
That's a powerful factor
Yes.
to consider.
Right.
Consider same faith
Yes.
and possibly same denomination.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Again, you know, the marriage union is a covenant.
Okay.
Now, the legal lawyers will tell you that it's a social contract, but we want to tell every young person out there that it is not a social contract at all. It is a covenant.
That's right.
You know, marriage was ordained by God. Of the 4 institutions which has God's approval, marriage
That's right.
is one of them.
Yeah.
And it is, I would rather say that marriage is so important to God such that nothing comes close to it. And so if you are considering marrying, the Bible says that don't be unequally yoked. But you know, when I don't know this before we had this how do you call it, recent vows that we share.
Okay,
couples.
okay.
If you look at the Orthodox churches, they have the vows that they share when they are getting married.
That's right.
There's a phrase that says that don't enter into this union lightly or unadvisedly.
Okay.
And to enter into this union lightly or unadvisedly simply means that this union is a covenant. And if
Okay.
you are entering into a covenant, there is no stopping place. You will not say tomorrow that I love a thin woman, so I married you thin. 5 or 10 years down the line, look at how you are looking. Me, I don't like this one again. Covenants don't play that
That's
way.
right.
It's that when we stand before the altar and we are making taking the vows, we are taking the vows first in the presence of God.
That's right.
And again to each other. And it's important for everybody who stands before the altar making the vows to realize that Bible said that God is the chief witness of your marriage. So if any young person decides to want to get married, first understand that whoever you are choosing to become your partner, it is for better and for worse. There is no stopping place because it's a covenant. And in a covenant, till one of the covenant partners dies, then the covenant still holds water.
Wow, this is very pivotal because from what you are saying, I mean, in Hebrews 13, the verse 4, the Bible said, marriage is honorable in all.
Yes.
Which means God places so much premium and veneration on marriage.
Absolutely.
And you said something that is also a factor to consider. And I will say the second factor here from what you just said is that before you enter into marriage, you must see marriage as a big deal.
Oh,
it's not for just a man. It's for a matured man.
Absolutely.
It's not for just a woman, a matured woman. So you must enter into that institution with some seriousness. Because you said on the day of the consummation, the vows we exchange, it's not just about God, it's not just about you and the partner, but I mean, God is there.
Yes.
The man of God or the woman of God blessing the marriage is also, and there are witnesses.
All other witnesses.
So you can't take these people for granted.
At all.
That's why you need to be sure you are ready for that journey. So you must see the journey as a very serious, resolute journey. I like that because some people trivialize marriage.
I mean, the way we trivialize marriage is so absurd, right? If it's a word to use, but on
it's
this,
very absurd,
it's as absurd. You know, also for one thing I realized in recent times, a lot of young people are getting ready for marriage, but they are actually getting ready for wedding.
That's a very serious.
Yes, they are so getting ready for wedding.
marriage.
They are all over the place. Sometimes you are waiting for them as a premarital counselor. You are waiting for them, and they'll call and say, "Mommy, please today, dear, we can't make it. Oh, we had to chase our gown."
Can you imagine?
You see. And the truth is that this gown is going to be used for an event that will last for 3 to 4
Yes,
hours.
so I know someone delay internet call 3 hours because they come on quiet and it's just so 45 years. Omo mantem
3 to 4 hours.
So
So the concentration is on the wedding.
That's right.
And we are putting all effort into the wedding. We are putting all our money into the wedding. We are putting every resource into the wedding. We are making sure that the wedding becomes the talk of town.
That's right.
Everybody say that, wow, your wedding was amazing. Let me quickly ask, have you considered the journey of the marriage?
That's right.
The journey of the marriage is a huge one. Also,
That's
so
right.
sometimes somebody calls you, come to Kumasi and for this.
Yeah.
And so if you have never been to Kumasi, I'm not sure the person who calls you to come to Kumasi will tell you on your way from Accra to Kumasi, you will meet 10 potholes. You will meet these bumps.
That's right.
You will meet these number of police posts on the way. But all these are on the way. It is not part of the discussion you people are having.
That's right.
It is important for you as you journey on to realize that these things are on the way and you are bracing yourself up to be able to walk through all these, sometimes unscratched, sometimes a bit scratched.
That's
However, you will get to your destination, and it's so important. Again, if any person is considering marriage, consider the kind of person who is going to partner you for life. I'm talking about life partner. There is something we say, and it is absolute. There are no two ways about it.
I agree. It's even scripture.
And so that is the truth. So what kind of a woman or a man do you want to marry? What is your kind? When I was coming, something just quickly came to mind. Marry from towards where you are going, not where you are today.
Okay.
Now, somebody says, what is your ambition in this life? Perhaps growing up, you did not intend to become a minister of God, but along the line, you got.
No, I never wanted to become.
I
to
have
be honest
listened to you once.
I wanted to be a footballer
I see.
and also a politician. And my kind of politician, I would have become. I like Kennedy Japan style. Master more thing. And come a real man, my president. I'm a president. Yeah. Oh, just like a bear.
I know.
What secondary school and I just oh baby, I know. And it's or they apprehend him. So you are right.
So
we didn't start off like.
Yes. So people have ambitions.
That's right.
People have vision.
That's
now, marry the kind of a man or woman who will understand your vision and would want to walk you
Enhance
with you
it.
through your vision and make it much better by enhancing it. Do you choose to become a president, then when you are getting married, even when you had no money at all, you were at your lowest ebb whilst you were thinking of getting married, marry the woman who would become a complement to where you are going. So that when you get to where you actually intended to get to, someday you become a president, you will not look back and say, hey, Charlie,
I made a mistake, yes, so.
Okay,
Obi any was here coming to us and we are coming for we are fine.
But yes, and that is the truth about it. You see, I was saying this on Joy FM recently. Choices are made. Now, when you make a choice, there are two things you should consider. It has a personal consequence and it has a generational consequence. So whatever choice you have made, you have finished making the choice. Marriage is a choice. Marriage is a choice. So you have had the right to choose somebody. As you journey on, wherever you are going, if the person understands where you are going, it is important to sell your vision to whoever you are married, so that she understands where you are going or he understands where you are going and carries you through. That is why I keep telling young ladies, whoever wants to marry, especially the man, ask him, where are you going? Even before you say yes, where are you going? What is it that you are going to do for which you need help?
That's right.
What are your immediate plans? Your mid-term plans, what are they? Your long-term plan in this life, in the next 30 years, where do you see yourself? Now, these are questions to ask yourself and to ask your would-be partner. It is very important. Again, if you are choosing a partner, certainly don't choose a lazy man.
You know what I'm saying? You are very prophetic. Because yesterday, we had our online power night, and I was trying to promote this meeting for tonight. And one of the things I said is that one of the things I'm telling them in advance, when you are choosing a life partner, never choose a man or a woman that is lazy.
Yes.
Oh, yes. So saying that now, you see, the Spirit of God is one.
Praise
so
God.
I believe that there are people watching us who are looking at things that will eventually, make them make a blunder. So now that you are saying to them that when somebody is lazy, you don't enter that kind of union with a person. So flow, man of God, flow.
So don't marry a lazy person. I said here the last time, when I was getting married to Osofo, I didn't have love at first. I mean, love was not much of the reason why I married Osofo. I married Osofo for 3 reasons. I have said it on many platforms. First, I noticed that the man is a very wise man.
Hey, Reverend Asante, I even forgot. Reverend Asante is the senior pastor for ICGC, Liberty Temple,
Yes.
the Ashoman branch, and that's the pumpkin. So that's the first lady of Liberty Temple of ICGC, Ashoman branch. So in case you didn't know, that's the wife, Reverend Mrs. Theresa Asante. She's the first lady in ICGC, Ashoman, Liberty Temple. Right. So, Reverend Asante, if you are watching, I know you are watching. Man of God, so if you have a catcher, your husband is a very wise man, very wise man.
Before we got married, in most of our youth meetings, he would just be there. Everybody would talk, and when he finishes saying what he's saying, it is either nobody else is saying anything or everybody is making reference to what he said. And I was like, wow.
I say, Mama, go for me, I worry.
Adjei-Agyemang,
you have operating in that grace. So, our no working in that level of wisdom.
Then the second thing I noticed about him is the fact that but I noticed that the man is a fast seer, somebody who was so focused,
he knows where he's going.
Very much of a visionary, and he said, I like this. No matter what you do, he will go for it. And you see, when you find people, especially husbands who are long rangers, I mean, your life will be better.
They are long-term planners.
I mean, sometimes you are amazed some of the things he will bring. And sometimes you want to, you think that, hey, I deal with you. So for me, you can't discourage him. He's
right.
undiscourageable.
What he's going for.
Yes. And that was the second thing that I noticed about him. The third thing is I am naturally melancholy, like 75% melancholy. Okay. And Osofo is a practical choleric. And so I was always the laid back, quiet, unassuming. Osofo, I won't talk to you. What should I talk to you about? And then I'm in Adjei. But you see, I said, wow, this man is he pushes forth. I want a man like this. That. These were the 3 reasons.
Informed your decision in accepting his
Then, like I always say, love, you can always cultivate love. Yeah. You can always cultivate love. And I have seen people who were head over heels in love with each other before they got married. 5 years into their marriage, the love is fully extinct, as if they never loved each other. Because you see, love is not food you eat. Love is like a seed you plant, you water, you put manure, you put other things by words, by deeds, by thoughts, by actions, by many other things. Absolutely. So that's about it. So if you are looking for somebody, look for somebody who has values. I am talking about values. Today, a lot of our young ladies and our young men are looking for men who are already made, women who are already made. It is fine if you happen to find a husband who is already rich before you marry him. Who says it's not good? Yeah, it's nice, Papa. Nice. Even when you find a lady who is rich, marry her. Marry Masunya our repair.
Yeah. Oh, you are absolutely right. Papa. Just that you don't make that your main target.
Yes. But you see, where I'm going is that when you are marrying for virtue, you are looking for somebody who has understanding, somebody who has tenacity, somebody who has loyalty, someone who is trustworthy, somebody who can, especially for a man, if you are looking for a man, you are looking for a leader in a husband.
That's right.
And if you are looking for a leader in a husband, certainly it is the most important quality to be looking for in a husband, especially a husband who is a leader, who understands that as a leader, these and these are my roles, and I will be able to play them well. Wow. Perhaps finally, I would say that look for somebody who actually is a family person, who loves not only you, but your family, I mean your extended family. You certainly cannot marry a man whose mother or father you seriously disrespect. So these are perhaps a few of the things.
Wow, awesome. Folks, I'm sure you are already enjoying this scintillating, teaching. Listen, we have still not gotten through this whole interactive broadcast yet. You are still going to hear a lot. But the woman of God said a few things that really touched my heart. And I'm just going to make a few emphasis. You said something, woman of God, that was very, very rudimentary. You said marriage, a lot of folks see marriage as maybe fanfare, And one thing they forget is that the whole wedding is an event.
Yes.
But the marriage itself is a journey. So you need to psych yourself and see that, hey, the journey I'm getting myself involved is a long-term journey. It's not just, a fanfare. That's why they trivialize the counseling aspect of it. Absolutely. And they forget that those things is why the marriage, will do well. I see a lot of young folks today, they spend more time in pre-wedding photos. It's okay. But my question is, how much of prayer have you invested in the journey? They have time for all these things. Now we finishing, now we hurry, now we tune home. Just say, "Enyasem ketwa." It was a brand take. We need machu. So basic thing na ogugru in house water. So all these things. It's nice, but the spiritual aspect of it is very, very key. The journey is a spiritual journey.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people look at it in the light of the flesh. But it goes beyond that. So I really like what you said.
Marriage is very spiritual.
It's very spiritual.
2 or 3 weeks ago on Joy FM, we were looking at the sex. Why is there too much confusion? And then I mentioned that sex is a very spiritual thing. And somebody calls and said, "Oh, what is spiritual about sex?" And I said, you see, so that is about it. It is a whole, it is a whole spiritual journey. And I keep asking premarital counselors, how many hours in a week do you commit to prayer, to Bible study, both of you, to talking, to actually diving or delving into each other's life? And interestingly, they are doing a lot of lovey-dovey things, and they forget the prayer part. But also I can assure everybody who is watching that marriage is a very powerful spiritual journey. Say that even after the marriage, if both of you relax in your prayer life, it takes a lot of toll.
You're absolutely right. Then you said something too. He said when they are in courtship, they should learn to share their visions with each other. So, a lot of folks now, a lot of young folks in relationships today, one of the things I notice is that they don't spend time on the essentials. They don't really discuss the vision, they have, in the journey they find themselves. And that's a problem because they don't talk about these things. They end up doing sinful things. Because when you become idle, the enemy will find something for you to do. So it's important, those of you watching us, it's very, very important that when you are dating or you are courting, it's important to share your visions with each other. What are your plans? Particularly you, the man. You should be able to spell your plans because in a way, that will also help her make a decision. So Bible class say, write your vision. We make it plain. We need to see it. It has to be vivid. Intimate because what there be me ko baby me were plans. My plans were me trim. There be me new trim. So sharing visions with each other is very, very important. I agree with you so much on that. Then you also said something about one of the qualities, the last qualities you saw in my bona fide brother and friend, Reverend Asante, was that the man was focused. He knew where he was going. So particularly to the spinsters, when you meet a man you want to spend the rest of your life with, it's very key that you look for a man that is focused, a man that has a long-term plan, a man that knows where he's going. It's very, very key. When you said it was one of the things that informed your decision, your sister, when I met her as well, I mean, at the time we started courting before marriage, I wasn't prosperous, let me put it like that. I wasn't there yet. But one of the things that convinced her was because she saw a man that has vision. She saw a man that was going somewhere. And like you said about your husband, we are not the people that take, I attempt something, I don't,
it didn't work the first
time. I will go at it again. So you keep pushing, Bema Oceana, try ade ba ko na anye
Wabe
no
osusa.
osu na osan say na who about who this one here no osu I will soon be Obama say I mean you're not going to go far in the journey. So it's very key you marry somebody who is a go-getter, but is still determined in God. Is determined in God because your determination should be predicated in God.
Absolutely.
Then you also mentioned that you see a lot of people don't know, a lot of the young people who are married now, that when you marry into a family, you are literally, I mean when you marry a man, you are married into a family. So background is key. So when you are choosing a life partner, you need to investigate the kind of family you are going into.
And that is what most of us do not do. So I kept telling Brahima when we're coming, one of the things, sometimes I don't know if it is Christianity, charismatism, too much faith, or what, which has taken some of these things away from us. Because some of the things that were happening when we were young, where families go into families to kind of investigate the background. In recent times,
they don't do
people are caught in, and they don't even know the much of the person's family at all. They are not even asking relevant questions. Recently, on radio, a young lady said that she won't marry her husband of 5 years or 6 years, and then the young man called in to complain. So we called the lady and we sat down. Then eventually she said, he was not listening. When we were courting, I kept telling him, I can't live without money. 5 years down the line, his small money is finished. I can't live without money.
So you marry because of things, not love.
Yes, and you see, that is the truth. Sometimes when we are in the courtship, it is supposed to be a court. Both of us are locked in there at the court, and we are putting it to each other. And don't worry when you put it to him or to her, and he gets hurt and he gets angry. I asked, a lot of young ladies have never seen their beloveds angry before they.
Can you imagine?
And so you when the water is still, it is nice till if it is a lake or till you drop something, then you would begin to see the impurities coming out. Sometimes disturb the water a little, see exactly
so that you can
where
know
you
the
are going. Right.
So
So at the court, we are not asking relevant questions. I was asking somebody, in the event where you get married and for the next 5 to 10 years there are no children, what would you do? He said, hey, mommy, this one day we have not even thought about it. What about in the event where your husband loses his job on the way? We have not thought about it. I was telling them, I met this woman. She got married, had a set of twins. The second one were also a set of twins, 4 of them. And in 5 years, she had 4 children. The husband was taking the first 2 to school, and on his way back, he got involved in an accident. And he lost his mobility. I mean, he was immobile for 26 years. Yes, he died just about a year ago. And this woman kept staying, doing everything, making sure that her husband was going to hospital. Do you ask these questions? These are very genuine and relevant questions to ask. But in courtship, we are stealing sex. And we are having intercourse. And so we are not asking questions. I keep saying that.
So in the courtship, instead of spending time to know each other, ask each other, intriguing questions. Because the truth of the matter is, life is full of unforeseen contingencies. Things can happen. And just say Adjei-Agyemang, say could be marry you. So say
is the cohabitation in the church. It's
cohabitation. Particularly the young folks. Now universities here boy and the girl no much school fees, no much them. Some mommy no papa anymore. Oh, just say these things we are telling you. Listen, folks, you need to imbibe and glean from such, prudence, because you need information to make right decision. So about investigating your background, do you know when I was getting married, like you said, my mom actually investigated the background of my wife. It was later I discovered, when after the marriage, everything, my father-in-law also told me, you don't know the work we did on you. So that's how it's supposed to be. It's very important because you are married into a family. You were a joker. So so you must have veneration for the family, you know, you married into. So it's very, very important. That was very, very, very key. I like that. I like that. Then you said something about in the ab initio. You said when you are single, love yourself. A lot of single people think you must marry in order to appreciate yourself. The truth is, if you don't appreciate yourself before marriage, when you enter the marriage, you'll still be an orphan in the marriage. So you must learn to appreciate yourself. Enjoy being single. Enjoy your single life. At the appropriate time, the marriage will come because it's not a race. And don't marry spinsters. Don't marry because all your friends are getting married.
That's the pressure. Serious peer pressure.
It's terrible.
Terrible in the church now.
A lot of ladies are getting married because all their mates are getting married. It's sad. Please don't let the peer pressure, you know, coerce you into marriage untimely. Wait for God's ordained appointment so that you can enjoy the journey. This is very, very vital. But there's a question not a question. There's something I want to bring to the discussion. You know, in Genesis 24, I think the verse 4. When Abraham, during the last days of his life, he told his servant to go and look for a wife for Isaac. He was specific. In the chapter 4, 24 verse 4, he said, go to my country, to my kingdom, and find. So we also say that when you are, one of the factors to consider is to also marry somebody from your place, from your tribe. Is that something we may not make it a rigid principle. But if you can find somebody from your place, maybe from Ewe area, go for it. From Ashanti area, go for it. If you don't find and you cross over, it's also fine. But if you can find somebody from your area, because he was specific that you should go and find somebody from my place. Is that not what? So, I don't want us to be controversial, but what I'm simply saying is, if you can find somebody from your area, go for it. It works
much better. You know, apart from the fact that we are all Christians, it is also necessary that language and upbringing, culture is so key. And that is why sometimes it's a bit difficult when you cross culture, marry cross culture, like Ghanaian marrying Nigerian and all this. You find a lot of trouble because of the cultural differences. So when we are evers and evers, accounts and accounts, it tones down on the too many other little things.
I agree with you. So if you can find somebody from your, but we are not saying,
we are not making a doctrine
we are not making a doctrine out of it. We are not saying that, you know what, if you are an Ashanti, marry an Ashanti. If you find an Ashanti and you are an Ashanti, that's okay. If you don't find an Ashanti, you find an Ewe, because I have people in my church here. There is an Ewe marrying an Ashanti, and they're having a beautiful marriage. Because at the end of the day, it's not just the tribal issue, but understanding into the journey is what is important. So those of you who are looking, you are saying, I will never marry this tribe, I will never marry. What if you don't find your own tribe person to marry? So let's give God the room and the space, you know, to guide us, and the Holy Ghost will certainly lead you to the right person.
Notice that when the word of God says that renew your mind by the word of God, a lot of God's people have a little more work to do with mind renewal. And that is where somebody says that, well, me, I will never marry an Eve. And then you're asking, why? Oh, my great-grandmother told me. So for your interest.
That's what I call arrant badadash. I've always said that foolishness is not an insult. It's a state of life. So after you have received the word of God over and over again, your mind must change. Your mind must renew. My sister-in-law is married to a Nigerian. She's Ghanaian, but she's married to a Nigerian. And they have a beautiful marriage. Some people too can marry. Ashantis, two Ashantis can marry. And they're married to quite exactly. Ga and Ashanti too can marry. They have a beautiful marriage. What we are simply saying is, if you find somebody from your place and it's God's will, go ahead. If God decides to also make you cross your tribe to another tribe, flow. There's nothing wrong with that. Wow, woman of God, this is beautiful. I'd like us to now move into the people who are married. You know, we've said a few things about those who are not married, the factors they should go. So when you are now married, how do we keep the marriage sacred, the marriage sweet, because you are enjoying your marriage. I mean, you've been married for a very long time. And the marriage is sweet. I see how, Reverend Asante is always looking young, looking very dexterous. I mean, the man is enjoying the marriage. I mean, if you look at me now with all the smiles, I'm enjoying my own marriage. What are some of the things, people can do so that they can, because a lot of people are married today. And to be honest with you, if they had the chance to marry again, they won't marry the people they married. So it means something is wrong somewhere in the marriage, So what can they do to keep the marriage sweet? And listen, there are a lot of things. I mean, too copious. We may not be able to go into the nitty-gritty of all, but we'll try to share the very basic ones that can help somebody to enjoy his or her marriage. So what are some of the things we can look at in order to enjoy the journey of marriage?
All right. Like we said, human beings marry. Angels don't marry. The last time I read about angels coming down to marry, it was a huge disaster.
That's right.
So, because human beings marry, human beings have flaws. Human beings have shortcomings. Human beings have inadequacies. It is therefore important that any two people who are married would understand first and foremost that they are very different. And because they are very different, more so, not only that they are very different in thinking and in understanding, they are different in the fact that you are a man and I am a woman. That is a huge difference that brings a lot of trouble. And sometimes some men and women do not understand that a man is so different from a woman. And we understand differently, we believe differently, we behave differently. I mean, sometimes I keep telling people, don't ever try to understand a woman. She's so complex, she doesn't understand herself. She runs a 28-day cycle. A man doesn't run any cycle. And so in her 28-day cycle, in running her 28-day cycle.
So, Mommy, if I come back to this life, I still want
to be a man.
I don't want to be a woman.
I know, right? And in running the 28-day cycle, a lot of things happen.
That's right.
What is the most important is that God in Christ Jesus in talking about marriage was comparing marriage to Christ and the church. And it is important that every Christian family will look at this whole thing about Christ Jesus and the church in their marriage. One of the very basic things that makes every marriage work is that knowledge shall be the stability of your time. How much knowledge you have about your woman, about your husband. Again, not only even about your partner, about men in general, about women in general. So there are a lot of general statements about people before there can be individual differences as well. So look for what actually is with your partner. How does he understand things? How do you understand him? How do you understand her? Moving forward, our Bible said in all you're getting, get wisdom and get understanding. I believe so much also in this life, everything that works out too well happens because whoever is working it out has understanding. Understanding is getting to understand the perspective of the other person also. So get a lot more understanding about whoever you are married to. How does my wife behave? How does my husband behave? What does he want? What doesn't he want? What would he do? What won't he do? These are very, very important things to look at. Going forward in the marriage, making it work. I have always said that good marriages don't happen. They don't happen.
Good marriages don't happen.
Yes. Okay. In the Christian community, sometimes I laugh. We have been brought up to a point where we think that everything must happen for us. And it is not like that. God is a miracle worker. He is not a magician. And in this process, a lot of Christians feel that, because we were wedded at the church and everything, then everything should work out well. No. Everything must be made to work.
You are part of the process.
Yes. So let all go through the process. It is important for my husband to understand that we are going through a process. Right. It's important for my wife to understand that we are going through a process. So as we are going through the process, if anything happens, goes wrong, whoever allowed it to happen, we'll first take responsibility.
That's right.
We will sit and we will talk about it.
That's right.
We will forgive, we will forget, and we will let it go. So for every good marriage, what happens is that both of you are determined to make the marriage work. So both of us are determined to make the marriage work. Understand that you are human. You will always go wrong some way, somehow.
That's right.
Learn to forgive the other person.
That's right.
Be quick to ask to be forgiven. And if the other person is not asking you to forgive him or her, let it go. It is important for every wife to understand that most men, 85% of men, would never say sorry. Will not. It's only 15.1% of men. Who will say the egocentrism. But it's important, it's interesting to know that women are also very, very egoistic.
Yeah.
It's just that we have been trained.
So it's good to admonish men.
Yes.
You know, that feel that, why should I say sorry? It doesn't reduce your position as a man. In fact, learning to say sorry, in my opinion, shows that you are very wise, shows that you are very mature.
Yes.
Because if you offend somebody, you should learn to say sorry. There's no need to justify.
It's interesting. Most of the post-marital counseling procedures I have done had to do with the fact that my husband did this. He will never say sorry. And the man said, I would die rather than to say sorry.
But that's foolishness.
Absolutely. Foolishness.
I'm saying foolishness. So, because Obi no aware no, or the yawa ompe. It is all the year no so ompa. Sorry, we just, terminate whatever was going on.
There's something I'm dealing with now, and I was
Please
telling
learn
them.
to say sorry. Those of you watching us,
Yes.
whether a man or a woman, when you offend your husband, when you offend your wife, and you justify, just humble yourself and say sorry. In fact, that sorry can exterminate a lot of unnecessary tension and hula baloo in your home. So please learn to say sorry. I'm anointed. I'm a man of God.
Yes.
I preach in a lot of places. If I offend my wife, why should I see saying sorry as a big deal? And please.
Also, what I noticed is that in many marriages, we have not built friendship in our marriage. And because we don't have friendship as a part of our marriage, the marriage is so formal such that even when I want to talk to my husband, I must go like, honey, Pacho, where dear Mr. Oda, where dear Pacho San
as a headmaster, teacher, any headmaster for Bosnia, as Oko Pelo, wow, Cruzo,
and Pacho, Mr. Wedianka, assembly and Pesan Cochran,
none is a good
Adjei-Agyemang.
Now, so I also a boss.
Please, Daddy, I beg you, I have something to discuss. Please, tomorrow, whenever you have time, then you can, please, so I beg you. This one, she has to be saying, please, so I beg you, because you are not friends. Friends in a marriage makes it beautiful. We are friends. We hang out together. We say anything. We chit-chat. We play. Some couples, they don't play.
They are not friends.
They are not friends. They don't hang out.
As strangers. To me, Hageno. To me, Sonimu. To me, Omoko, Saturday and Junior say, Kono movie, Obi social distance. On funny crew, now we're training now we're child's play. Not just be any romantic. Why are boss? A woman
was telling her husband, hey, what the only romantic? I said, Uncle Romance School.
Wow.
Recently, when Mother's Day, a lady called me and said, oh, so mommy, Mother's Day, all the children were doing, mommy, happy Mother's Day. And her husband is Osofo. Say, Osofo, you won't tell me happy Mother's Day. Or see me there for some convo. I was
and that's how some men talk and behave. I'm telling you, this is practical, folks. This is very practical, and what you are saying is spot on. It's happening. There are people in their homes today. One in the year called friend who cry Obonidi Adjoa into their pet names bebrebe unyabi odo ahofe one who be Adjoa Osmira.
He's in 2020. He's living in the medieval ages. I mean, and Kokrasem.
Omo can bro for the crowd there. Obonidi Adjoa sa.
I said this on Joy FM. My auntie has said that her husband said, when I call you, you should respond, sir.
Can you
see, and that is the problem we have. Most of our husbands are big men.
Let me help you with it.
Most of our husbands are big men at work. They have all the people bowing to them. Thank you, sir. Bowing down to them and obeying their instructions. When they come home, they forget that we are home. And here it is family.
Yeah.
You know, I keep saying that how our world is as a result of how the family is. This is the disintegration in the family unit, and it has transcended into the church. Now it has moved from the church into the community, and so it is all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how it
this
is.
is
So,
good.
like I said, good marriages don't happen. Let our marriages become
Let's
beautiful.
work at it.
Again, perhaps one of the things I would rather want to say to our husbands, when a husband is a good leader, his wife will follow. There is no way, you know, the very day the woman said yes to you, to marry you, she has submitted.
That's right.
So it is difficult when I hear men say, my wife is not submissive. No, the very day she said yes.
So check your leadership.
Yes, so now it becomes leadership. Many husbands are ruling their homes. They are not leading their homes. And if you are ruling your home, you are the boss. And if you are the boss,
there's no
then,
dialogue.
Yes, so the wife cannot say anything. She has nothing
and
to
she's
suggest.
supposed to be a helpmate.
But Daddy,
So she can't
you see,
suggest
your little children, see how they are growing beautifully. I think at this time, Kingsley sometimes should be given the opportunity to even make few suggestions in the house.
Yeah.
But some homes, even the wife doesn't have a right to make one suggestion. It is either my way or the highway. There is no other way.
Milo no nkula ne besa won ne dem te say e dey suban grade why a dictator or worry you.
I have done this marriage counseling thing for 19 years. I have listened to pain. I have listened to
things people go through.
Also, I have seen Christian husbands who have gone so downset that they are bringing their girlfriends into their home and their wives are there. Yes,
but
and it is painful. The pain. Some woman says, I have been married for 19 years. I don't understand what is called orgasm. I don't know. I don't know. I said, but. And you see, it is important. I was saying this recently on radio. When a woman doesn't get this in 5 intercourse moments, her body begins to repel you. It is unintentional. It just happens. There are some, I pray that couples
19 years,
yes,
no orgasm. Hey, tell me also
also me no start here. And one so aba. No, I said when you bicycle or to me speed or the speed no do baby no abra no auto bicycle na twene. O we no dania no da. And it is such a pain on the head. Also, it's just to say that in this union we are together. We are partners. You are a man, I am a woman. Let's understand where we are going. Let's push each other on gradually. As we journey on, we become a beautiful family. Let's give each other the opportunity to speak into your life. Make mistakes. Work on your mistakes, move on, and make this marriage beautiful.
Wow.
As you journey on, there will come a point where people will begin to look at you as, and that is where it gets to. I also realize that there are a lot of women who, when they start having children, begin to some way, perhaps indirectly, or yes, perhaps indirectly, begin to put their children ahead before their husbands.
That's right.
And when it happens this way, it also is a lot of trouble. Don't forget that the children are only an icing on the cake. After when the empty nest period happens, you will be left with your husband or your wife. So it is important that we cultivate friendship in our marriage. I am asking for respect, and I'm asking for mutual respect. There are homes where you realize that the woman is giving her husband all the respect and the woman has no respect. It is interesting, people say that men want respect and women want romance. But I think that in Ephesians 6, absolutely, in Ephesians 5, God is saying that submit yourself to each other in the fear of the Lord. So it is mutual respect. Now when you respect me, I am respecting you. However, for a woman, if you feel that your husband is not giving you enough respect, so you think that mean a respect should be earned. It is a huge no. It is not always that respect should be earned. For the position he occupies as a husband, give him his due respect. And that is so important, so that God will be happy with you. Perhaps finally on this, I would say that I wanted to say it, but I don't know if I should say it or so forth.
Go ahead.
Marriage, Christian marriages are suffering. Too many Christian marriages are suffering or so forth. When you sit with them, you would be amazed. And the painful part is the pain most pastors' marriages are going through. You don't want to hear. You don't want to hear or suffer. It is painful. It is pathetic.
To a lot of them.
Recently I'm dealing with something, and this couple have been married for close to 30 years. And the husband is seeing one lady on the side.
Can you imagine?
And the pain, you see, the painful thing is when you have walked this journey from a very little no state at all, and you have walked through this journey, and God has blessed both of you, and your husband begins to feel that you are not a corporate wife.
Can you imagine?
And so now I need a corporate woman, and I need a corporate wife, and so at the end of the day, you are supposed to be backlashed and thrown away and made to feel like you are not important. If there is any husband who is behaving this towards your wife,
yeah, I agree.
Because you see, I was telling this woman, don't pray and don't cry, because when one tear falls on the ground, First Peter says that no,
and the man is finished.
Yes, so please, I beg you in the name of God, husbands, treat your wives well. No matter what, you are supposed to be the leader. God has given you the headship. He has given you the priesthood. He has made you a prophet. He has made you a king in this home. If you lead well, every woman will follow. And the ripple effect of what you are doing as a husband to your wife, or as a wife to your husband, your children begin to bear the brunt. And you see, it is two elephants who are fighting. The ground gets to suffer. I beg you. So some young people, 16 years, will get married someday, and then they will begin to brutalize their wives because they feel that is the best thing to do. And there is a lot of trouble out there.
I agree with you, and I'll end with what you just said. Whatever we do as husbands and wives, I mean, if you are cheating on your wife, you are cheating on your husband, the ramification is on your children.
Yes.
Because the life of every flesh is in the blood. So I like the fact that you said, wisdom, knowledge shall be the stability. I think Isaiah 33:6. He said, knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. We should have knowledge about each other in the marriage. We are going to have a very fruitful marriage. Listen, husband, you must take time out and have knowledge about your wife, have knowledge about your husband. Because like he said, we are two different entities from two different backgrounds, and we are on a learning process. So get to know something about your wife, know something about your husband, and it will make the journey very, very beautiful. I really, really like that point you raised, and like you said, wisdom is important. Proverbs 4:7, wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. At this juncture, I pray that every man, every woman watching us who is married, may God intoxicate you with wisdom.
Amen.
So that you will make prudent decisions. A lot of women are not wise. A lot of men are not wise. They don't even know when to fight their husband. They don't know when to present their case. Some husbands too are not using wisdom. That's why there's a lot of unnecessary, battles and tension at home. And I think another thing we need to let people know, when you are married, the subject of love is not a noun. It's a verb.
It's a verb.
Do something.
It's a doing word.
A lot of men, particularly those spiritual men, they don't know how to also take care of the woman in the flesh.
Oh, they be there in the
spirit. But when you prosconio, they are not in the spirit. You see, they know spirit. When it comes to money, I need this, I need that. I mean, if you have a wife that is not always demanding, once in a while, she says, honey, I need a dress. You should be happy she's even asking for a dress, because she's not somebody that is always asking, can we spend time out today? Let's eat out today. It's not every day. Once in a while, man shall not live by bread alone. When it's time for prosconio, remind him that scripture. Man shall also not sleep in this way alone.
It's interesting. Interesting.
I think we seriously need to make passable time for each other, spend time with each other, because this is the person you swore to God that you want to take care of for the rest of your life. The vows you exchange, it's not just, talking sake. So we need to do our best to keep marriages working.
Yes.
It's very, very important. Wow. And the aspect of sex, I think they should have sex. Married couples, they should have sex.
Yes.
They should have sex.
In fact, you should have
sex with your husband and your wife
Yes.
alone.
Yes.
Don't go beyond the boundaries. Have it. Have it as much as you can. Have it.
Yes, as often. I was saying this on radio recently. If you are newly married, between 1 year and 4 years, if you are not having 3 times of sex in a week, you have a problem. There's a problem in the marriage.
Yeah.
At my age, you can be having 2
I
times
have,
a week.
I have a son called Ofori.
Yeah.
He's not married yet.
Okay.
He will like this point.
You like this?
I'm telling
Okay,
you.
Ofori, so.
Macho will like this point.
All right.
That when he marries, at least 3 times in a week. You see the gentleman behind the camera now. He's happy when you made that point. So he has this, in fact, the 2 of them.
Right, then you have to be.
That's all they want to. These people want to marry and just pounce on somebody's daughter.
Oh, I see. But you
it's
should
a
have
beautiful
wisdom
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful. Also, there is nothing as beautiful as being together with a husband who truly admires who you are, who adores you. And I keep hearing wives saying that, hey, when we were sleeping, my husband said, once I did,
that can put you off.
Oh,
can you imagine?
And
Such,
so those were
derogatory remarks. How do you tell your wife why I can say in the act of complaining? But on the more, I think we should. You talked about respect. You don't demand it, you earn it.
Yes.
If you make comments like this, and the lady too feels you want to say something to, make me feel denigrated, I'll also reply you. Then there's a fight. So I think what you are saying, we must learn to communicate well.
Yes.
Even if your wife has a big tummy, there's a way you will say it that it will come out as, I'm just showing care and love. But don't say it,
There's something my father was doing sometimes when you serve him food and you forget to bring napkin. After he has finished eating, he'll call like, Adjei, on shirt a hono, me white atade na me de ko ejuma ba and on famre na me fan paper me sakakra. You know what he's actually saying? It's a beautiful way to say, but you see, I always say that it's not about what you are saying. It's always how you are saying what you are saying. So you can say anything, but depends on how you are saying.
The context of the way you are saying it.
It makes somebody laugh or get angry. And I am not against getting angry in relationships. In fact, all forms of emotions are good, anger, everything. But sometimes I call it emotional intelligence. Some kind of anger, a broso to the point where if your husband and your wife begins to get afraid of you, then there is problem. If your wife and your husband is afraid of you, then there is problem. And so marriage is supposed to be a beautiful thing where we are both there for each other and we are at the mercy of one another.
That's right.
And one person should not make it look as if I am the boss and you are the subservient.
And it shouldn't look like somebody is doing another person a favor.
Huge favor.
No, we are there to complement each other,
absolutely.
not to compete with each other. This is very, very important. Folks, I'm sure you've had a very, intriguing discourse. At this juncture, we'd like you to start asking your questions. You can ask your questions on Reverend Kingsley page or the House of Consecration page. We are here to answer your questions. Flo, feel free, ask any question, that you would like us to deal with. So just ask your questions. We are here to help you. So please let the questions flow. Woman of God, this thing is sweet. We are really enjoying ourselves.
Great.
Please ask your questions. Ask your questions. Ask your questions.
That is somebody's asking the prosconio. What is it?
Prosconio is sex. Sex in marriage. Sex in marriage. That's right. Prosconios is the language in tongues. So if you don't get it's coded. Yes, it's coded.
Right.
Okay. Somebody is asking a question. He said, but what do you do? This is from Nanan Cancer, Mrs. Duplan. She said, what do you do when the man isn't stepping up and helping you? so you are forced to put the kids before him?
It's however it is, the covenant is between you and him. And so the only thing you can do is to talk about it. Keep talking. I noticed that in most of our marriages, we don't talk at all. We don't have time to sit and deliberate on issues and talk about it. So talk about it. Let's find a way to get him to hear you talk about it. And if it's still not working, then there's not much you can do.
Wow. So, Mrs. Duplan, you need to still talk. You know, this is where wisdom is very pivotal. So, as much as you can, trust God for the wisdom. Trust God to be speaking, you know, to your husband. Talk to him. If you feel you've been doing that talking for a while, add prayer to it. Then after you are done praying, look for somebody he honors and respects. If possibly he has a pastor, if possibly he has somebody, maybe a friend, somebody that when you talk to, you will not feel that you have gone behind him to, you know, denigrate him. So that the person, and it's all about communication. It's not like you are reporting him, but you are just trying to draw his attention. You know, sometimes we don't know it all. Sometimes, even as anointed as we are as men of God, sometimes we miss it. So that's why it's good to have a helpmate that can always, you know, bring you in line when you are, you know, moving out of line. So it's very, very important.
I have a question here. Somebody is asking if it's advisable to be a second wife.
To be a second wife. You know, lately some men of God have been peddling that.
Oh, yes.
That we should prove in scripture where it said you can't marry more than one wife.
When was it? About 2 or 3 months ago, I was on Adjei-Agyemang on the Home Affairs show with a Reverend Minister who actually has a book on polygamy, the church something.
Okay.
And he's actually advocating for polygamy. So it was a heated argument, me and him. It was amazing. Wow. At the end of the day, I asked him how many wives he has, and he said he has one. And I said, but the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. I was expecting that you will have to, then you have the moral integrity to be able to be telling other people, but that is absolutely what it is. Yeah. But for a woman, I come from a polygamous family. My father had 6 wives.
Wow.
And I know how...
Then you have a lot of siblings?
Plenty.
Okay.
And I know how difficult it is to come from a polygamous home. I would not advise you one bit. In fact, you know my stance on this. I would not say one bit that you should marry somebody else's husband. Whatever it is, don't.
Yeah, so please take it from us. Don't be a second wife to any family. Please wait for the appropriate time. God will bring your own. And don't become a slave queen to anybody. Because the slave queens, they have decided not to marry. They just want to be slave queens.
Slaying,
you will slay your husband for you. They are sharing, co-sharing. So please, slave queens, you too is not right in the sight of the Lord. And if you're a woman, a married man is trying to coerce you into becoming a second wife, tell the person you are not interested.
Seriously, he will get a third wife.
Oh yeah, after you.
Oh yeah. Wife, yes.
And it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Do you have any more questions, or I should read some?
No, I
from
don't
here?
have any more.
Okay. Somebody is saying, when I'm dating my girlfriend, is it right? This is from Bernard Amwa. When I'm dating my girlfriend, is it right to help the lady in terms of giving her money to establish a business once in a while?
All right. So this conversation I had with Methodist Church Taifa last year, and we're looking at this. Yes, we are Christians, so the Bible admonishes us to do good, especially to people of the same faith in the same house. So yes, but you see, there are things you will do for a brother or a sister that you don't have an intention of marrying. And there are things you will do for somebody you have interest in and want to marry. So you will go the extra mile. My sincerest answer to this are in 2 ways.
Okay.
First, if in fact, you don't have, it is not your duty at all, if you are not married to anybody, to take charge responsibility of the
person's upkeep.
No.
Please listen well.
He's not your wife. He's not your husband. don't say that I'm sending her to university so that when she finishes, I'll marry her.
Recently,
Recently, behind my office, a young man, my phone was disturbing me, so I took it to him to help me. Then
Jesus.
he was crying. I knocked. I said,
wrong
my dear
investment.
I said, Mama, did you see the lady who just left? I said, yes.
Okay.
I sent her to SS, and then she has finished nursing school. She just came to tell me that I am not his type. Her type, and I'm saying, I will do this, I will type in it. Hey, don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake. Men just have mistake. No, it is never your duty to do all these things. Then you're already doing a husband's duty.
Exactly.
And like a lady who is cooking for you, washing for you, and cleaning for you, you're already doing a wife's duty. When you finish, you do proskuneo on top. So, are you not a wife already?
Yeah.
So that, you see, Chifo said, Odoni diane wakodim.
That's
It
right.
simply says that when we do these things,
We've entangled ourselves in
the
it. So
marriage.
it's difficult to even
It is
get
not
out.
every relationship that must end in a marriage.
A marriage, yeah.
There are
That's a
some-
solid
yes,
point. Not
there are-
every
no.
relationship should end in a marriage. If it's not working,
So the person has given you a promissory ring 7 years. What is that?
now your medicine. It's a school crown now.
And
Promise
that
ring
one,
is a man, but
that one is spiritual marriage.
say a couple, say a paper ringo, or say, promise is
Onyame obo ma de, or sense of humor.
that's the thing about the weakness of a lot of women is what they hear.
Oh yes.
You
But
know,
that is
it's a somehow okay. On one can we also kai lady, mama fian so.
I can force say oba bia sebio and map and kwasefo. It goes to say that a map premand for a merima oni capre
on what can we go no say lady to me this. Yes,
she is not your responsibility. Yes, well done for you. But to me, don't buy your girlfriend a car. For what? What about if she doesn't end up marrying you? Don't do some of these things. Don't do it.
Yeah.
This is
So,
not your duty.
in a nutshell, what we are simply saying is, if you are not married to the person, you don't take responsibility like you are a husband. Because, and that's the reason why I saw Bana Chere on your move for no Jawa. Now, because what boka, Unya Baka on to Adjei-Agyemang, Mami, oh, mothers, they want one cake with me in levels. No, Saka, but dear, Mentino, Mimi principle. Time I mean, man, probia, or bar me pen, and me worry. Because I'm a power, I realize I'll be spending.
I can't also.
And I'm also allowance never money. I can't spend all the little I have on you. Then later you come and tell me your mother doesn't like me, your father doesn't like me. Me depend paper beton. A karma bonina, you have to pay back.
Also for my
There's another question here. This is Mami Anoa. She's saying, am I to complain if my husband keeps shopping all the time for me? Sometimes I see it as a waste of money. Wow.
Yes, and there are two sides to it. Perhaps your husband has enough money to spend that you do not know. So maybe you think he doesn't have, but if you feel that he is doing too much, you can talk about it. You can talk about it. You can bring him to think about other things like have you thought of a second house? Have you
investments?
Yes, something like that.
Spending
spending all the money. I am not against you wanting to make me look beautiful, but
too much of everything too is unnecessary.
Again, there are other women. Now,
you need to appreciate.
I was at a wedding before the lockdown, and the pastor was saying that he married. I mean, he was quite poor when he got married to his wife. Now, one day he went to preach somewhere. They gave him money, and when he was going home, he passed by a shop and bought 2 beautiful dresses for his wife. After dinner, he presented the dresses to his wife, and the lady said, what is this? He said, open it. He was very excited. The lady said,
That's right.
open it. He was very excited. The lady said,
That's right.
Obi supposed to say, now so Danny. When it's somewhere, Papa. And he said that. In fact, he said that the wedding, he was the preacher. He said, I have vowed never to buy anything for my wife again. So that also is not
A lady,
nice.
Mrs. Duplan said, hey, as for me, I won't talk. I'll tell him to keep shopping more.
Oh.
He said, immediately I tell him to stop, he won't do it again.
So, and that's why I'm saying that you have.
You
this
should
is
know
how
your
you say-
spouse.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so
yes, right.
you need to apply
I have
wisdom.
a question here, Sapo.
Okay.
He said, please, when you clearly see that your husband is worried about something and you have asked initially, but no clear response, at what point do you stop asking? Should you keep on asking, or you wait for him to be ready to talk about it? All right, so I'll give you a little job work to do. Look for the book Men Are From Venus, Women Are From Mars. It will give you a lot of understanding into this. There are, in marriage, one of the premarital...
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yes.
Get that book.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's also another book I recommend. It's by Walter Timlahey,
yes.
and it's The Complete Man,
yeah.
and The Complete Woman. These
Yes.
are powerful
Yes.
books because the deception is a lot of men think they know themselves,
Yes.
but we don't actually know ourselves. So when you read a book on a man, it will make you appreciate who a man truly is. And after that, read one on a woman,
Yes.
because sometimes we think
Yes.
the way we are, that's how women
they
are.
should be.
But women are different from us.
And that is
Yeah.
what we are all not getting, that we are so different. So when you get, there is a point where there's not, you can do as much as you can. There's not much you can do. Perhaps you are not asking the relevant questions. Perhaps he needs a little time. In premarital counseling, there's something I teach on privacy. Yes, we are a couple. Yes, we are married. But would you be able to allow your husband's phone to be there and you won't have any problem going through his messages? And some women, I don't know why you want to, what you want to see on your husband's phone.
That means you already suspect your husband.
And suspicion kills, though.
Yeah.
Many marriages are dying because of ordinary suspicion.
And on phone,
Somebody sent me plenty things yesterday, plenty, and I asked, what is it for? Oh, I saw it on my husband's phone. I want to send it to you to see that what he is doing. I said, have you asked him? He said, I have not asked him, but me, I know what he's doing. I said, so why are you sending it to me? The truth is that there are times when men want to go deep into themselves because of how they are, and they want to push things forward later. So ask him for a while. If he's not responding, give him a little more space. Ask him a little more later. If he's still not saying anything, leave him to himself. Someday he will tell you what is happening.
And that very popular phrase, love is blind, is a blatant lie.
It's a huge
love is not
one.
blind. That's why a lot of people do things and eventually they regret, what they did. Love is not blind. How can love be blind? Somebody is asking a question. This is Kenneth. Yeah. Kenneth is saying, is it advisable to date 3 ladies at the same time?
What are you doing? What are you actually doing? Are you doing, how do you call it? You are looking at, if you are dating them.
That means you have committed yourself.
Yes.
It's
So
different from observing.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I want to believe he's trying to say, is it okay to be observing 3 different ladies?
So. That is
one
cool.
is,
That's
but
fine.
dating is too.
Dating then means you
it's
have
already,
yes.
you are in courtship with the person.
Yes.
So Kenneth, if you are observing those 3 ladies, to be sure you are praying, you are seeking counsel, so you don't make a mistake. That's okay. But if it's dating, you can't date 3 ladies at the same time, and it applies to the women too.
Yes,
you
yes.
can't date 3 men at the same time. If you're observing the gentleman, that is okay. Yeah, and suspicion kills.
Oh,
I
yes.
like that statement.
So
Stop every now and then you grab your husband's phone. If you don't trust him, why marry the person? That's the whole point. Every day you are holding your phone, and you, the husband, too, don't give a reason for your wife to suspect you.
To be holding your
Same
phone.
with the wife. Don't give your husband a reason to suspect you.
Yeah. So I have a question here.
Okay.
So this one is from Lambert. He's
Okay.
asking, is it good to get married to 45 or 50-year-old man? I want to know, please. I learned nowadays young men can give broken heart. Okay. Sometimes people say that age is only a number, but it is not true. Age is not only a number. I don't know how old you are and why you are asking if it is good to marry a 45 to 50-year-old man. If you are very, there's something we call the age gap, and the age gap is always 10 years. And if you are 10 years older or younger than whoever you are getting married to, there is a little concern. So look at, perhaps that is the answer I can give you. Young men are giving a lot of broken heart. Oh, I see. So you want to date older men. I see. Most older men around 45 and 50 may also be married already. So that is also the other side of the coin.
Wow. Wow, wow. Keep sending your questions.
I have another question from Ezekiel.
Go
He's
ahead.
saying that, please, my guys don't sponsor. Okay, so if I don't sponsor my lady and somebody else takes her, something like that. Oh,
So,
okay, no, it's not a question.
okay,
I understand
okay.
what he's saying.
That if you
Should
don't take care
marriage
of her,
couples
somebody
be
can.
educated to embrace continuous counseling, set up periodic times with a respectable mentor or pastor for review on how things are, even if there are no major issues? So that's a question from William. William is asking that if marriage couples should be educated to embrace continuous counseling. Yes. Perhaps after, even so that's what we are looking at, post-marital counseling.
Yeah, it's important.
Yes,
yeah, I think we and we do it. You know, we have a policy in our church that married counselors, once in a while, we call those who are married, try to figure out how the marriage is going. It's very, very important because the whole journey, I mean, every day we are learning something different. You know, every day we are learning something different. So it's important. It's important.
Question for you.
Okay.
This is from Richard to Daddy. Please, I want to find out, can the way some parents bring up their children affect their marriage when they grow up in terms of not allowing them to do anything at home?
Yeah, it does. It can. You know, when people, like we said, we are coming from two different backgrounds, and the way we are raised up differs. So there's a way that where the person is coming from, that's the first point of socialization. So whatever the person does is informed by the upbringing. But this is where there should be a room for compromise too. You can't say, where I'm coming from, this is how we did it. Now you are married. He too is saying, this is how we did it. So we should meet each other halfway, you know.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
we don't
That's
get
absolutely
to unnecessary
That is
bickering
true.
and feud. Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, it looks like people are really enjoying the session.
Okay, I have another. Okay,
Okay.
that we have
We
done
have
this
read that one.
right?
Okay. Please, we'll be rounding off shortly. Okay. Judith is asking, are there faithful men who accept a single mother?
Oh yes, a lot. In fact, I have. We had a lady who had 3 children already. Her husband died, and she got married to a man who has never been married. In fact, myself and Osofo were amazed. Somebody who has never been married to get married to a woman with 3 children.
Yeah.
Yes, there are good people still in this life. There
That's
are
right.
lots of good people
people.
here on earth, and so don't think that everybody is bad.
Yeah,
There
and
are
I
good
totally
people here.
concur with you. Judith, the woman of God just said, there are good men.
Oh yes.
And once God is involved, there's nothing God can do. You know, God is looking at your heart. Maybe the circumstances that led to that.
Yes.
Like you said, in your case, I mean, the case of the person you just testified, she had 3 children. Maybe it was no fault of her. Something could have. But God is a God of many chances. So God can still bring you a man that will still take care of you and take care of the child. Yes. And I have had people in my ministry who have married, and before they married, there was a child in, and they take good care of
them.
You know, so
Yes,
it's about.
Maybe there was there's some. I was counseling somebody about 8 or so years ago, and the lady had a son.
Okay.
And but she was not able to be bold enough to tell the would-be husband. So at counseling, I just went like, okay, we were finishing with the checklist, and I said, okay, even your son can be your page boy. Just when I said that, everybody's face went blank. The young lady looked at me like, what? And the young man also looked at me. So after the session, the young lady rushed rushes back to my house and says, hey, mommy, why did you say that? And I asked her, but you haven't told him? She said, no. I said, oh, but this is huge dishonesty. Why would you be in a relationship with somebody for 4 years? You have a 7-year-old and you have not told him. And so eventually the engagement was kind of broken.
Yeah.
1 year down the line, the young man comes back and said that now he has the frame of mind to want to adopt the son.
That's right.
And it is a beautiful thing. So yes, there are people who will take your child, if even they are 2 or 3, and will become their father or their mother.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Daddy, there is
another question. Okay.
Daddy, apart from wisdom and understanding, what other ingredients are required to have a sweet marriage?
Apart from wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. To have a sweet marriage. I think another important thing is also making possible time for your partner.
Yes.
You need to make time for your partner. For me, my itinerary ministry is very strong. I travel extensively. Yes. So at a point when I feel I'm not making time for my wife, I make sure in my next trip I take her along. And when I also get back, I make time for her. So sometimes people ask me, with the way you travel, the way you move around, do you really have time for the family? And I said to them, when you talk to my wife, she will be wondering why you're asking the question, because to her, the best of her knowledge, I'm always around, because I don't give her reason to think I'm, not available. And so you must make time if you really, and another thing that really be friends. You emphasize, friendship is key.
Thing makes sense.
I mean, when you have somebody who is your wife and is your friend, I mean, you are not careful what you say, you can fool around, you can jest, be yourself, But a lot of marriages don't have that. They are not friends. What do you do? Cry,
Debbie.
Oh, they won't me cry more worry. Won't me boludu. Just say,
and again, I think that, like we are saying, sometimes date each other outside of the home.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get married and we feel that after marriage everything has ceased. Everything has not ceased.
Yeah.
Still
do what you were doing in courtship that made the person fall in love with you. I mean, because when we are courting, we do everything to make sure your partner is happy with you and all that. But when we marry, we feel I've arrived. But the real journey is in the marriage.
Yes.
Courtship, we call each other 7 times. Now you marry, you call her 1 or twice in a day. It's wrong.
Yes.
So whatever we're doing, let's keep.
And even today, by help of digital telephones and cameras and everything, text messages, whatever,
video call. I mean, she's on a break in the office. You can look at. And can you remember when your dress, she's going out, babes, you look sweet. You look. Those kind of things will demoralize your wife. Christian men, let's learn to, young crow, let's learn to pamper, let's learn to encourage our wife, and wives to encourage your husbands.
Yeah.
I mean, encourage when your husband is dressed up to work, look at him, pull his tie, was a baby. You are the finest guy I've ever seen.
For me, I've been telling
things. I'm preaching.
Okay, Daddy, I have another question. Can one do traditional marriage only without doing a church wedding?
Can one
do a traditional marriage alone?
Yes,
without,
you can.
Yes, sure.
yes. We'll just after the traditional,
we'll
and that one it saves a lot of money. And we encourage that, because after that you come to the office, we sign the register. And I mean, you are good to go. So traditional, you cut your coat according to if you can't afford a lavish wedding, and I don't even encourage lavish wedding. It's a waste of money.
Yes.
Unless the person sponsoring the marriage is say, I won't give you the money. I want to sponsor. So you keep yours. So because the journey ahead of you is a long-term journey. So you need money for the journey. Don't spend your life savings on a 2 to 3 hour, event. Program, people waste, and those of you who go and take loan to go and marry, it's not wise. It's not wise at all. Don't take loan to go and marry.
Must you start a journey on debt?
Yeah.
That said, please, there's another question.
Okay.
I would like to ask a question. Why do people have white weddings if our traditional marriage is the wedding? I was told that your marriage won't be blessed if you don't marry in a church. Is it true?
Oh, well, it's a blatant lie. I just said it depends on the couple. Some couples even decide to do traditional, not because they don't have money. It's just something they want to do. And you'll be on a pedity.
Yes.
Some people naturally like to do things on a very small scale. They don't like too many attention.
Yes.
Not everybody wants fame,
all the
looking
hula
for
balloon.
to trend, and be episode trending. Not everybody is like that. So if you want to do traditional marriage, and let's not listen, those of you watching us, don't think when you do traditional marriage it's a sign of poverty. No. Anybody who thinks like that is because you don't have comprehension, understanding.
Yes.
You chose to do traditional marriage for your own reason. Some people have money but they won't do wedding.
Yes.
Some people too don't have money but they will do wedding. So it's a matter of your choice.
It's also important to know that traditional marriage is marriage.
It's marriage.
In fact, it's marriage. I wonder if the court or the church will go ahead to bless any marriage if the family has not sat down to agree.
Who even do it?
So traditional marriage,
the tradition always precedes the white wedding.
That is what you can do. There is a last question here, sir. Please, he's saying that what's the difference between dating and courtship?
I think here is grammar. Dating, it's like a term that is used when couples go out on a date.
Yes.
So it's like, but the courtship is actually the journey before the marriage.
Yes.
That's when you get to know each other and all that.
Right.
So dating is, you go on dates, but sometimes we use dating to represent courtship. So that's the dichotomy there. Yeah.
Perhaps my last question here is, can a Christian do traditional marriage and live with? I think we have belabored this point and live with the woman. Yes, you can.
It's okay.
It can. The final thing is that after everything, your pastors will be around to.
Exactly. Once we are there, we represent the interest of heaven.
Yes.
So that's
my
fine.
Questions are exhausted,
Wow.
please.
Wow, precious folks. Wow. Tonight, I believe you've had a very fantabulous experience on this powerful, singles and married night. I want to believe you have learned something. I mean, from the messages I'm getting on my personal WhatsApp and all that, it shows that people have truly and veritably been blessed by this broadcast. I want to really thank Mama T for making possible time to, join us on this very exclusive broadcast. Woman of God, thank you so much. We really I know my people love you, and we can't wait to, congregate again so that we can have you for a woman conference so that she can come and pour into you guys. I like the way you go about it. You are real. You see, a lot of people want to hide behind spirituality and not touch on some things. And that's what's killing a lot of people. Yes, we must be spiritual, but let's also not forget that we are humans. So let's not hide behind spirituality and make people suffer. So please, my concluding remarks here is, those of you who are married, take good care of your wife, take good care of your husband, and those of you who are courting, use this period to investigate the backgrounds of each other. Use this period to know each other, share your visions with each other. Don't be indulging in premarital sex. When you now marry, what will you be doing? If you are not married, don't cohabit. Pack your things. Stop living where it's not necessary. And those of you who have been taking responsibility for somebody's upkeep when you are not married to the person, you are going to market, you are doing this and all that. Listen, desist from it. Those are responsibilities that is reserved in the marriage. So I beg you, don't be doing things that you are not supposed to be doing. So I trust God you have truly been blessed. And as always, please, if you have any further questions you want to talk to us, there will be numbers on the screen after the service. Somebody's asking another question.
We are finished.
Okay. There's a question?
Yes.
Okay, you can
so
ask.
Can you marry a wealthy unbeliever with the idea of winning him over to Christ?
You can't force a horse to. I'm telling you, you yourself, you have your own personal enigma. How do you now? You can't force a horse to a river. No. Please. Don't be deceived. Rather believe God. And those of you who are dating people who are not there yet, it's just a matter of time.
Yes.
We are watching us now. We were not where we are from the beginning. It took time. God works through the process. God worked on us. And today we are where we are. I didn't start at this level. But today, to the glory of God, I'm also a somebody. Why? Because God chose to make me so. God chose to make the woman of God so. So it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. Your lack is not a product of inferiority. Your lack is a product of time.
Yes.
At the appropriate time, God will give you a husband. At the appropriate time, God will give you a wife. And if you are dating the guy, encourage him.
Yes.
He shared his vision with you. He's going somewhere. Buy into that vision.
Yes.
Encourage him. One day, he will become the person he told you years ago that he was going to become.
Yes.
And look at some of these things to inform your decision. All right? We love you. We love you. We
Yes.
love you. We love you. We appreciate. Man of God, do you have any final
Yes,
words for them?
finally, because
Yeah.
whilst we were talking, we kept saying that it's a spiritual thing. Marriage is a spiritual thing. For all married couples, I would encourage you that don't leave prayer out of your marriage. There are, because marriage is a very spiritual thing, the devil has his eyes on it so much. Don't throw prayer out of your union. It is the most important thing you need. Keep praying, keep working on each other, keep believing in each other, keep trusting in each other, and above all, keep loving each other, and let the name of God be glorified in your homes. Let your children be happy, and you as well be happy. Thank you very much.
Precious folks, we are going to sign off shortly. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, I'm back at 10 a.m. to continue my erudite teaching on the battle is the Lord's. The battle is the Lord. I've been doing this series for a couple of weekends now. So tomorrow is going to be very, very mercurial. So join me tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. for our online explosive service. 10 a.m. Please don't miss the teaching tomorrow morning. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Please, 10 a.m. Like I always entreat you, get up, do everything, get ready like you are going to church physically, sit down, get your notepad, your iPad. Don't be lying on the bed asking for coffee and Milo here and there, because in church you can't be drinking Milo and coffee when I'm preaching. So sit up, get yourself ready, get your children, everybody in the mood, get enough data, because tomorrow is going to be very, very corrosive and acidic. So tomorrow morning, I encourage you, invite friends, invite your families. Let's have a good time. And don't forget, this time with the Holiness Revivalist is every Saturday from 7 p.m. Every Saturday from 7 p.m. Do well to join us next week, Saturday, for another, superfluous session. So every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we are here to enjoy God's, word and God's blessing. So every Saturday from 7 p.m. we are here. Take note of the time. And every Tuesday we have our online breakthrough and healing service. Every Tuesday from 7:30. Every Tuesday from 7:30 we have our online breakthrough service, healing and breakthrough service. Then on Fridays we have our online Power Night service. Power Night. Last Friday we had a good time in God's presence. We prayed. God used me to prophesy to people online, and some came out and testified of what I was saying. Then every Sunday, as usual, we have our online, explosive service. Don't forget, it's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We love you, and I want to encourage you that whatever you have heard here, please apply it in your individual lives, and your life will never be the same. I appreciate you. See you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Shalom. God bless.